alignment of the frameworks coming apart, let's bend and shape. Splinter drifted overlooked, seen as an accessory for the taking. Craftsmanship from a different plane. Storyboards that need no order, original etchings, fine-tuned to the point, they seem distorted. Take a moment to look beyond what is readily available in hopes and golden dawn of sorts will alter the perception. Not that phase in a way, I'm 2 cents on the matter. We'll see what happens as you were. I'll be over there breaking ladders. These are 21st century schizoid jams. Found out some things along the way. Now I kick it with the wicked man. We've got flesh to burn, blunt the spikes of an eye made and break the chain, remove the castings. No need for restraints and already unnatural growth. Swilling a bit space in our quarters. Remove the heavy shielding from the end, my friends. It's meaningless than what you wish if taught us band together and realness creeping. The macabre left on the topics that we stand on upward seeping. Overflowing chalice, chipped around the middle, painfully stubborn, charged up with a liquid spirit, taken from the center shelf, oblivious to the deathly smell, leaking at a steady pace with every little outburst. Crown made of pain evaporate, knee deep in a puddle of diluted cadence, skimming through the basics straight to the chapters of greatness, where they ought not to be meddling in a headstrong fellow at sea, who will not for the life of all come down for the purse, the grounds of reasoning. What is rail can hit with a mighty strength, knocked down with a loss of breath. To be reborn, one must first encounter a little death. That is, unless of course we're talking about this little mess now tainted, exploiting ancient texts that some of us hold sacred. This rampant abomination tucked away, freely breeding, ironically tied in with a torture device around the neck, commence raping of the elements with flaky ideas of cashing in by catering for the insecure cattle herds of them. Just that water generation, confusing state of emulating an era that's been and gone, and for the better say those who lived it. Easy access for the trendsetters, colorblind, black as pink, all feeding from the same signals that were powerless to begin with. Now, what was once avoided for fear of denial from the kingdom is stirring shit with the believers as to how these kids were drawn in. Silk screen, choker chain, poorly rolled dependent, swipe from the lowest branch of a lonely planet placed in a trinket box. Alongside those oh so important coolness points tallied up for the weekend shed amongst the rest of the walking dead. A fellowship of empty vessels, penny lost not to be found again. Round a circular path and search for the holy mountain's entrance. That just raises another question. How long have you been festively questing for the answers lost in a melting pot of tension? Third-hand teachings are transparent. Hear it from the force itself, but the absence of a so-called almighty someone smells. And to delve into such an issue can be hazardous for the basic fat attached to the end of a safety rope, appealing to the nameless. Spit polish the dusty crest to what you must to resurrect this still lifeless image of a broken soul. By all means interject if I come across too forward. I mean there I said it. So it's back to the beginning by the ceremony of opening flesh. Back to the beginning by the ceremony of opening flesh. epic proportions. We don't really see eye to eye on what I classify as boredom. I mean, should I hold my breath in anticipation for the likelihood is that a crowd pleaser close to Big Bang Theory timeline cycles? Please fill me in on these useful bits of information before I commit my energy on something that is worth the wasting. Cause challenging the lifespan of my backup power tanks is a last resort method reserved for overcoming the angst. Plus my schedule's been kinda backed up. Hold on, let me check my planner. I'll see if I can fit you in between the cartons and the cancer. A simple case of not having enough on my plate to deal with. Max out my weeks from 9 to 5, but ain't no seriousness. How I long for the days of innocence and pure living when television consumption was a value competition. Got my lucky charms spaced out, all in order over the table. Sit and wait for my winning numbers while you provide win for the sales. Provide win for the sales. Provide win for the sales. Sit and wait for my winning numbers while you provide win for the sales. Provide win for the sales. I've got a grudge with being over it. Nowadays soberness I'm open with. So the great meaning up for the motion sick, but it's up, go still with a hopelessness. Place my life in the hands of a sloth, beat down by the mace pendulum of a clock that palpitates smart when the gun's your clock. Got a half out of running man ready to drop. I've got a grudge with being over it. Nowadays soberness I'm open with. So the great meaning up for the motion sick, but it's up, go still with a hopelessness. Place my life in the hands of a sloth, beat down by the mace pendulum of a clock that palpitates smart when the gun's your clock. Got a half out of running man ready to stop. Belong dead, walking viruses with a lust for blood. Pull the switch, return to dust, easier said than done. That's out of my depth, the move routine. I sleep while I peak, serving its sentences. When I wake I just might apply for that job as a freelance bioexorcist. But the text is thick and daunting, yawning familiar. These signs of caution, not to overflow the waters captive in these halls of thought. Subaudible drones chattering in a radius close to home, imposing focus, grace and crude line of note sense of implore. Likes of smoking's gonna kill you, overstated out one air. It's all psychedelic death, wrapped around a cigarette filter to pierce the pain that's under my arm and shoulder bladed. Ties to reminder of toll bridge evasion. Man mortal gogged out by patience, tampering with their expiry dates. Marionettes parading around, shadows run black on their faces. How downs click to the rhythm of a system link. Carousel propelled by the skin of our fee and legends. Through the fat with buckled chariots for the bleak, waiting in line for a copy of a handbook for the recently deceased. Grudge with being over it. Nowadays soberness I'm open with. So the great meaning up for the motion sick, but it's up, still with a hopelessness. Place my life in the hands of a sloth, beat down by the mace pendulum of a clock that palpitates smart when the gun shit clock. And a half out of running man ready to draw. The grudge with being over it. Nowadays soberness I'm open with. So the great meaning up for the motion sick, but it's up, still with a hopelessness. Place my life in the hands of a sloth, beat down by the mace pendulum of a clock that palpitates smart when the gun shit clock. And a half out of running man ready to stop. capsules seen better days. The ride is sluggishly, not complaining, trundles. Some say pinned down an axle's war from endless early summer. Off the dust to wake up, the skin a small price to pay for some serenity found sparingly buried amongst the now. Soon to be out for the new one unseen. Smell of blood on evergreen lingers, thick around rusted metal coping. Slick to the touch in a time when travel was cheaper and not as dangerous to hope. As the iris widens, swallows up the light source, thoughts inferior. Quick as they come, delete the picture, flickers out from hazel exterior. Earthbound now, we the impressionist vision with a pulse kept. Somber underneath the trench coat, hiding skin and bones. Graying flesh and sunken eyes, exposing the flashbulb blows in the overhead. A grim reminder of how real it is. Just seem to adapt to the circumstances. Not by choice, of course, and stripped of those basic rights and necessities. After freedom wars are fought and lost, population cripple monuments for their victory. Forced to swallow a whole snap back to the present, think none of it now. For the vessel comes to a slow, and these thoughts of injustice are getting a little too loud. The jolt when the gas breaks in, it comes states the destination. Await instructions from that inaudible voice to behave in an orderly fashion. The most efficient way to move the mass congested. Still fear interaction, and this fly-by-wire system's called the automatic. Step through the doors, move forward, ascend to street level and face it. Hit with a heavy scented orange air that skulks about the nasal. Night of time, passer and inhale. Double dose of poison intense. Streams one takes to feel alive can leave you walking a trigger's edge. Don't follow my designated colored strip due to the segregation laws. Walk with isolation as the people up their talk. The city melts like Suspiria. This hyperactive reality's bold. Break a sweat underneath the red disc, irritates the skin. Salvation is costly, half-life inflation's a problem. Sold on the one alternative, the time has come to save our economy. Like many others, sign up, roll with 100. This is my ticket out. At the clinic, soon to taste the wonders promised beyond now. One last trip, neon planes are sick and infected. A happy panic sets in, but still dreading the injection. Live clock's been flashing black for a couple of days and I'm spent. So book me into the carousel and put this present to rest. One last trip, neon planes are sick and infected. A happy panic sets in, but still dreading the injection. Live clock's been flashing black for a couple of days and I'm spent. So book me into the carousel and put this present to rest. Allow me to scale the bases edges, cast afar from our stationary. Momentum gathering quick round the outskirts of my haven. It seems a semi-embedded existence. Had plans of relocation. Handling paperwork is tiresome to swing the weights and cranes that add to the movement, which is skeptical. I'd hardly call that growth. Ushered along a fishing line, promised a presentation of hope, which turned out to be a letdown. Set you off, giving your best. Find an entrance to the pipeworks to dodge the intersections. Plus, I know these underpasses well. We have an understanding. Free to come and go as I please, so long as I take some time to ramble about whatever. Architecture teaches patience if you let it. Jimmy up the tiles and brickwork, make a mess till heart's content. Shimmy up to the purchase end, avoiding treadmill mangulation. The air is somewhat bearable at this altitude of makeshift ventilation. Paper mills belch a smog, a bit of sweetness. 1,000 stories tumbleweed, unseen but worthy of breathing. Compare that to the bustle of ivory bone pinstripe madness. Duty seemed to drive the occupants of a three-piece Trojan gallop into the sand trails. Up my signal, open the floodgates. Watch the beauty and destruction unfold all over the rat race. Under the skin content with where I sit, while watching faceless as the mayhem steadily loses grip. In an overpopulated coma, patient water to given for cogs to turn and brave the rusty build up from the system. Resting under the pulse, under the skin content with where I fit, while watching faceless as the mayhem steadily starts to slip. In an overpopulated coma, patient water to given for cogs to soldier on in fear of disturbing the rhythm. Snap, 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 snap. snap out of that hypothetical daze from flicking filters aimlessly, straining against the aggression of the current, fighting mainly for a chance to disturb the peace and split the tidal wave single file through the gap down the middle. Keep action simple when dealing with a Venus trip, and intentions are to puncture physics at any sign of a threat. Scared tactics cease to impress. Plus I'm 2-1 down by the glare, shut around and amplified by these paint glass windows clipping the sky that seems to have sprung up overnight. Side by side, down a sink, irregular blocks are building up, rapidly changing the face and let the landscape breeze in the wake. All that aside, soldier on a bench, still into the thick of it, trudging about my business here. Feel safe to be passive when seeking refuge once again to piece together collections made, salvaging what is possible after sweeping up the miscarriage, a result of an overstayed. I want to welcome from both sides of the spectrum. Watched how I spotted desired destination, praise mate haste, barely made it halfway up the crow's nest, swallowed in an instant. Tedious indeed, the need to rejuvenate chances. Grave shifted once again, admit defeat, back to the base, a naive underline of change so that I can for this day. Resting under the pulse, under the skin, content with where I sit, while watching faceless as the mayhem steadily loses grip in an overpopulated coma. Patient water to given for cogs to turn and brave the rusty build up from the system. Resting under the pulse, under the skin, content with where I fit, while watching faceless as the mayhem steadily starts to slip in an overpopulated coma. Patient water to given for cogs to soldier on in fear of disturbing the rhythm. thread on the stitch line of my patience. The more it gets pulled, phrase and wear and tear take place. It's provoked way beyond the same old day-to-day routine. Bypass the pedestal, blend with the unraveling. Requests are being made but not heard over the static. Demands are understood with rehearsal time and practice. Save your breath for next time round. I'll still have hollow pockets. Keep quiet and how what's mine. Tell me how they're your belonging. So if what's mine is yours, where do we draw the line? Small talk invites expected harassment for the time. I could take it back to when these things weren't a chore, but the bitterness is good for you. Now I have the sword that was twisted to pry open the drawer which held the Walkman. Those batteries are flat, but that didn't stop the talking. Beyond that, buried, forgotten, done. Waiting for the next sinister face to call bluff. One's family member's bad choice, seen it all before. Head for the exit door rather than sit and applaud for the encore. A weapon of choice on the ready, loaded with the exception to bid farewell, leave this place but stuck around for attention. Received an invitation, yeah, their heart was in the right place. Sent it back with a no thanks, I need the mind space. stay structured with no sympathy. I'd agree, human level rises as they fall apart piece by piece. Some might think that's out of line, I live with that. So ask about the history before you feel the need to attack. Around my part of town, it was all the craze. Where's the sense in being labeled weak for valuing your days? All the rest are numbered, it's a showdown, you can't win. The time we have is a gift, not something to be tampered with. That's just a thought of mine, not very relevant. Hard to walk a straight line when it's crooked around the edges. Acknowledge stop signs, you think the light to tell you something. Don't walk, provokes curiosity. High beams coming, got my place in the queue. Try to stay to the right, my time will come when the cashier greets me with a smile. That's just how I see it, not trying to give advice, not here to preach. These aren't instructions or a survival guide. I do have advice, I'd rather say it face to face with a problem that I pass on my way every day. Don't know how much I can take of these seagulls, sparrows, pigeons, any creature with that with cold visions of how the world works. One hand washes the other, mine are full with other problems. Last I checked, we weren't brothers. This ain't nomadic circle walking, dancing round a hat. Keep my stronghold and awareness head level, illuminous in fact. It's the awful truth, you can fix that stitch. Dolls keep pulling, no rest enough to drive a man to drink. It's the awful truth, you can fix that stitch. Dolls keep pulling, no rest enough to drive a man to drink. It's the awful truth, you can fix that stitch. Dolls keep pulling, no rest enough to drive a man to drink. It's the awful truth, you can fix that stitch. Dolls keep pulling, no rest enough to drive a man to drink. It's the awful truth, you can fix that stitch. Dolls keep pulling, no rest enough to drive a man to drink.
Satan was an acid head. Drink from his cup. Pledge yourselves. And together we'll all freak out.
Breakout for the mind control training ground. They're letting loose with juvenile adventure format handbooks bleeding through. To an assembled user-friendly easel, quarantine the medium. Shield my eyes and ears from this bland as fuck apocalypse. Construction's looking promising. Let's excavate these old ideas. Brought back to the surface, made presentable, stand clear. Prepare the packaging for next month's crop. Safety gates are comforting, but he who walks behind the rose has had enough of this smothering. Your children dream, sleep at ease. Gothic lettering's questionable. Do your bit to wake the devil unprepared for henchman's tentacles. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for contributing to the chaos, but I think I'll do my homework before I confront the boss. This is the age of stunted growth and a lack of independence. Test your short wings off that tall cliff, make sure I get a mention. Dip my feet into the questions, drink deep with possibilities. Power gain to cap and save, adjust the well, but far from easy. To obtain a certain ranking, calling an outlook need to see. When you've been broken down to shadows by the monstrosity that feeds. Asbestos binding subtleties, hypocritical mess of acceptance, hard to stomach the side of a stranger. You think of ways to tame aggression, but how the tables will turn, we won't get into that. Cease howling, sleepwalk until you fall. Had to get out, stench overpowering. I found out about that store that sells those glasses under the counter, and I can tell you where it is, but first prepare yourself for counseling. They are all running around headless, screaming obscenities, tipping the plastic cauldron at my feet. Watered down beliefs tacked to the sleeve, just another lie. Quick to dismiss any involvement when in the face of a razor blade smile. They are all running around headless, screaming obscenities, tipping the plastic cauldron at my feet. Watered down beliefs tacked to the sleeve, just another lie. Quick to dismiss any involvement when in the face of a razor blade smile. Modlitonthemanocornuto, 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 Modlitonthemanocornuto. Just buy into it and you'll prosper. These supercharged living rates of today have exceeded past the point of prior expectations that any mortal coil could fathom or even possibly hope to imagine that we'd see all this in our lifetime. It's all there at the flick of a wrist, weighed in a hyper-color pool of selection. Healthy choice of bedridden state with so many options oozing from the walls around to intake. Try and comprehend the variety spread caked across jittering shutter speed through a haze of pretty crystal shards, smoke and rapid aging. Machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places where you wanna go. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine. Up the milligrams again. See, that's half the fun, not knowing when it'll stop. It's gotta end eventually, so suppress the vertigo. Look for the seal of approval. If it's clinically proven, then surely it's worth forking out the extra dough for. Just remember, less is more. It's the new slimline version. Yes, it comes in a can now. Rewind live television or relive ad breaks. I'll take 3. Necessary to force feed me all this other shit that I don't need. So send it all to my modern furnished coffin, suspended up in the breeze. Machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places where you wanna go. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine. Keep gorging on the water ration. Supplies are not limited, nor do the erratic climate patterns reflected all on our lifestyle. So rest easy, population, drowning in blood from holes in his feet, foregrown to the war peaks. Empty promises seem to be satisfying. Throw bundles at nothing, straight to the furnace. Funds are secure, build a new base. Let's utilize all this empty space, anything to be part of the team. White hot, the gunmetal grey panels expand and breathe. With no dead man device, the axis grinds, running on hellfire steam. Machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places where you wanna go. It's a well-oiled machine that'll take you places. It's a well-oiled machine.
Alley trouncing in the bucket. Yeah, we back now. Melting through your speakers, OPZ in a plastic cup. Keep your fist up in the air, we never back down. Fill the strip, play the corners, dodge the bright lights. How she strip, fill your pockets, then we ride. Bust the pool sticks, caught you chillin' in your whip. She out looking for shit, I swear to God, I never seen her Sin City flashy. Golden gut is big and bashy. Brooded up, who you now? Those pins looking shabby. By now the full moon and high tides got you crampy, your palms clammy. Clean it up and then get at me. I skip the cracks when my boots stomp. I ain't caring who's on. 6 million ways, sucker, choose one. You pay less trashy, man, I'm low savvy. City dweller, so savvy. Pick it up and then get at me.
To better not twist it around the neck. Apply pressure to play the windpipes, chord struck harmonious. Pirates of the smoke shack, sail onto barren landscape. We the time lords of the Bronze Age. Defenders of the grimoire, take the pages if you're able. These soul earth in preparation for the coming of 8-point atom blast. Directionless sent back to the depths where man no longer plays a part. Clutch the savior's frailty, holy harpoon, stray of force and miss. 7 daggers and Megiddo shatter, pliable truce will split. This is fact when it hits you, not hermetic, heretic, crackpot theories. Just horror genre addict, dissect the classics for some meaning. Intrigued by the obscene teachings, praise all dream babble leaders. With pentangles on the elbows, we smash what you may have believed in.
I keep one eye burning, pop the coal and chaos. Back to the wind, my last call as a thought. The name reigns, breathe mother supreme. Imagine the reality springs forth from dreams. I'm the weaver, Ictori, creating the web. Got my tricks to face on, now you play with the blend. I'm the very man, fuck the living dead, he said. Got the eyes, suck the toe, eat the sins with the bread. The earth sparks gone dim, to die chagrin. Oh soul sandblasted by the darkening wind. This ain't no win-lose paradigm, rerun, rehash. Ecology and balance, old ladders are smashed.
It's inspiration, intimidation, then invocation. Now you're inadvertently involved in all this shit by implication. Insipid, insignificant insects inflame elders. Insane spells get uttered and in turn cause the trepanation of your reality. Check the bells torn from running with scissors. An austic casualty gets a rain of fallen sky, thundering vicious. We roll deep with D and get rowdy with Crowley. Plus we're going spare with Austin Osman. Those postures can't drown the buzz. The crown's above, so we keep on walking the crooked path. Not left or right, but both, so pause, kneel, throw a look and laugh. Someone shook the past right up. Fools line up to canonize this. Hear them calling and hide. It's never boring inside a paradigm shift.
A crown of thorn point to pose, man, a wire strong. Suppose the glimpse gone heron, the just porcelain pheromone, the shedding lies and wedding cries, babies mute to sever cell. How this existential hell cut at cancer's dreaded quills, told by cold relationships and trace to placement appetites. The gypsy lung, the banshee sear, the woe decay on concubines. Fatal as this plague of state, tainted to its silhouette. The stain of glass and sharded hour cut to mute or filaments. Anointed by agnostic promise, prone to phantom prophecies. The bland abandoned host accosted trust to whom's atrocities. Benevolent as the relics set in red by Parisian prophets, built by bread of flesh and wine of blood to summon conflict. But how? That end of the grip. How? That end of the grip. How? Grip. That end of the grip. But how? That end of the grip.
The problems have been stacked up too high, and this running trend of apathy paves the way, draped over mouths to blame. Soon to be curtains for every man, woman and child that insist on hovering over rubble that's left quietly erupting. But television doesn't quite know how to look at me right, since I said I'm making my duty to take out its entire race. Fire, walk through life with faith, filtered visions out of the picture. Now I humbly await the manifestation of hate. Omega damned, there is no phone ring. Omega damned, it is all inside my head. Omega damned, there is no phone ring. Omega damned, I cannot be all that's left. The future's brighter in a literal sense. Cup your hands to catch the yellow ultraviolet gold that's given. With everybody racing towards that last piece of haven, tip the scales, capsize your dumping ground in prisons. Deafening indeed when bells ring, the sound of coveralls flies down conductors, sending stadiums up in flames. That's entertainment, there's nothing left to watch and drool that vacantly. Forgotten how to conversate, proceed to chase a sleeping aid. Omega damned, there is no phone ring. Omega damned, it is all inside my head. Omega damned, there is no phone ring. Omega damned, I cannot be all that's left. And there is always tomorrow. We will overcome the obstacles. Rebuild, start from scratch for this scorched earth is plentiful. Surrender dead for fossil fuel, guaranteed again, but it's too late. Pay the toll. Coins on the islands for all. Permanent fixtures welded shut now. Sit down and behave, for soon the rain will fall. Unlike any other scene before. Beginning of the ends. Omega damned or praise. Omega damned. There is no phone ring. Omega damned. It is all inside my head. Omega damned. There is no phone ring. Omega damned. I cannot be all that's left.
There is no phone ringing, damn it! There is no phone